Hello and welcome. In this very course, we'll be creating a movie poster. Okay, right on your screen, you can see a movie poster. Well, this is what I created for this very course, and I picked the inspiration from this very poster. Okay, well, and because of the time I had, I couldn't really go around to look for stock images to do this, but it's to our advantage. I had to create certain things myself, so we're going to be doing it together. So you're going to come with me. You remember this image we cropped earlier together. So if you haven't done that, please refer back to that very class and do accordingly. Crop this very image, and then you join me in this. So we have already, this is the image we cropped. Okay, this is the artboard. Remember, we use artboards. Now this is artboard 1, artboard 2. I already told you how to use artboards from this move to the second one, which is the artboard 2. That was how I created this, so you can actually see the presentation. Now we have this stock image I downloaded from pixels.com, and then we have this stock image I downloaded from well, this is another stock image that I also downloaded. The link is actually there. This is from Pixabay, actually, from Pixabay, and of course it's among your resources. So we're going to together create this by mixing all that we have learned, okay, so far. So the first thing we needed to do is to come create a new document. Okay, we'll create a new document. We'll give it a name. Okay, so we call it the wedding party. So this is the wedding party DigiFields. You give it any name you can remember, but we're naming it the wedding party DigiFields. And we come, well, we want to use an international paper size. There are different paper sizes you can pick, art and illustration, all of that. But we're using international paper, and we want it to be A4. Okay, and that's the dimension automatically it picks for you. You can actually, the background content, you can make it whatever color you want. You can also make it transparent and all of that, but I'm okay with white. And then the color profile, I'm okay with sRGB. You can change it to wherever, but sRGB is more compatible with several devices. Okay, if you use Adobe RGB, for example, it comes with more detail, but not every device can actually pick that color profile. So let's go with sRGB. And then the pixel aspect ratio, I'm okay with the square pixel. So let's go. We click OK, and that is where we begin. Now the very next thing we want to do is to create let's bring that project very close to us so we can actually do it together. Now where is it? The wedding party. This is what we're doing. Okay, this is what we're doing. All right, so the very first thing we want to do is to work on this ring. Okay, so for the ring, we already have the ring separate and we have the gold dust separate. So the first thing we want to do is we want to drag this gold dust to this very image and reduce it. Now remember, I told you when you're scaling, convert to smart objects if you want to preserve the image quality, because you might want to scale up and down. So for now, we'll scale it a little lesser. Okay, and then we go back and look for the ring and drag it in. So now that we have the ring, now we bring in the ring. Okay, now that we have the ring, we want to reduce the size of the ring. You just scale, or you want to scale uniformly, you press Alt on your keyboard and scale inwards uniformly. Okay, and release the Alt key. Now here we're gonna use our layer mask. Okay, we're gonna add layer mask here, and I told you pick your brush tool, black conceal. So we want to hide this very part of the layer. Okay, we did a little mistake. Let's go back. Before adding layer mask, let's convert this to smart object 2, because if we want to scale all the more, we don't want it to lose quality. So we now paint. This is your brush tool, black, you paint. When you paint, it conceals. Okay, and that is it. There we go. Now if you paint too much inwards, you can actually undo that by simply changing it to white. I press X on my keyboard and then it changes to white, and you can reveal what you concealed that you didn't intend to conceal. And there you go. This angle here is to press X on my keyboard and return it back and take off this edge so we don't really get to see that edge. And there we go, we already have it and it looks nice. Okay, you can decide to group this if you want to. If you don't want to, you just leave it that way. Press Alt on your keyboard and expand it uniformly, and there we go. That is it. So we have already done that. So the next thing we want to do is to bring in this very image. So we click and drag, okay, and bring it right here. And well, I told you, if you want to scale and you want to preserve the main quality, all you need to do is convert the smart object. So convert to smart object, we can scale easily without any fear because it is going to preserve the same quality. Okay, so now that we have done this, so we want to take this back behind all these layers. Okay, so it can be behind, and then come right here and add another layer mask so we can paint this off. Okay, so we take our brush tool, make sure it is on black, and then we paint over. When we paint over, there we go, we already are able to reveal all of that. Okay, so that is it, we successfully revealed this. So what's the next thing we want to do? We want to ensure, okay, let's look at what we are working with. All right, this image is bigger, so let's try to make ours bigger too by just scaling, but you can press the Alt key so you can scale uniformly from the middle. All right, so there we go. Okay, we have a little challenge here. Now when we painted this mask, we didn't paint it completely, so we pick our brush tool. Okay, this is from this very stone, the dust that we brushed, so we just brushed it out and brush that out completely and ensure it is completely gone. Okay, all right, so it is gone now, complete. You can press on Control and click to see, okay, and then Control D to deselect. Now that's it, so we've done that. So the next thing we want to do is we want to put this very background, and this very background is quite easy to effect. So what I did for this background was simply to come here, use my lasso tool, okay, to pick on the flower. So let's hide this and hide this so we can see the flower. Use your lasso tool, select the image, the image of the couple, and just select around the flower, just the flower. Okay, you can decide to minus the finger so you don't get to see the finger, and then you right click and do layer via copy and bring it up. Okay, you bring it just above this. Okay, all right, let's reveal them back. Let's reveal them back. Okay, that's not supposed to be ahead, it's supposed to be behind. Sorry, what we copied is supposed to be behind. Let's increase it first. Let's increase it. Okay, it's supposed to be our background layer, so we'll bring it down to the background layer. Okay, we increase it and make it bigger to fill that space up. Like I told you, if you want to preserve the pixel quality, you convert to smart object, but since we don't intend to do that, there's no need to convert to smart object because we don't really need this the quality. Now what we need to do next is to come to the stone dust, duplicate. Okay, duplicate the stone dust and bring it down right above the background that we created. That's the flower that we copied. So right above, what we need to do now is to expand and ensure that it covers the flower completely. Once it covers the flower completely, then we go ahead to change the blend modes. Okay, we change the blend modes, and we have several blend modes that we can use. So let's look for the one that makes it look golden. Okay, color makes it look golden. Let's look for any other one that makes it look golden. Hue also makes it look golden, so we can either use hue or color. Let's assume we're cool with this. Okay, we can use this pin light, and okay, but this is not exactly what I used for this very image. Okay, what I used was more of color or hue. So let's just work so we can get exactly that. We use color. All you need to do now is to select the two layers. Select the two by pressing Control and select the other, or pressing Shift to select the other one, and you merge the layers. When you merge the layers, they are now one single raster layer. So what you need to do now is to come right to Filter, Blur, and you come to Radial Blur. On Radial Blur, you adjust your figures. I think I used 34, so you click OK, and when you click OK, it will blur it out for you, and there you go. We have it blurred, but what we have is a little different because the center is different, so we'll bring it to the center. All right, that's it. Now that's it. So there we go. I think it looks a little closer to what we did. Okay, so there we go. We have it blurred. All right, so the next thing we want to do, if you look at this image, you see there is a lens flare. Okay, well, let's do the lens flare later. Now the next thing we want to do is to write the font. Okay, we'll type this font. That's Kate and John. Okay, so we want to do that. Let's look for, I think we can close this. We're done with this. For the ring, we're done with the ring. We can close that. All right, so what we want to do right now is to type those fonts. We have Kate and John right here, so we want to type Kate. Okay, and then ensure it is at the top. Type Kate, but because I'm selecting a lower layer, all you need to do is press Ctrl on your keyboard and take it forward. Okay, press Ctrl and take it forward. I already showed you that key. All right, let's look the font style. Let's look at the font style and be sure we are using the right font style. The name of this font is Edwardian script. Okay, so we're using Edwardian script. Let's look for Edwardian script right here. It's going to be Edwardian script. So that's it. We change it to Edwardian script. It changes automatically to Edwardian script, and that's the same for Kate. And you just press Alt key on your keyboard with the move key selected. You click on the image and drag to duplicate. That's a shortcut. So you select your type tool and click, and then you change it to type John. Okay, and so we have Kate and John. So we can reduce the font size and make it cute. This John is a little lower. All right, and Kate is a little higher. All right, and then we have Kate and John, and then the and is what we've not typed yet, so we'll just click on the type tool, select the Kate that we've duplicated, and we'll write the and. Okay, and we look for this very font. Now for this very font, we can close this image. We're no longer interested in this, just close it. All right, so let's look for this font. This font is Kunstler Script. Okay, Kunstler. All right, let's look for this font and then have it right there. All right, so the font is Kunstler Script. Let's look for it. Come back to text, look for it. Okay, that's it. It is the second one we have because we used it recently. You just increase the size, and there you go. There you go. Okay, so now the font color. For the colors, we have the blue. I already told you that you could actually pick this by simply coming here. You select the hex value, just copy the hex value, come right here. We use that often in web design, so but you can actually use it also in Photoshop. So all you need to do is select the text tool, select the color, and paste. Ctrl V. You just paste it right there. We have the exact color, and then it was stroked. So you click on your stroke. It's a black stroke. It's just one stroke. Okay, and then you apply the same thing. Now you can also do something beautiful. You can come to Windows, Styles, and you have your layer styles. You can create a layer style from this by simply adding a new layer style and just type it. Just click OK, and once you do that, okay, come back to your styles and select this and click this. It picks the style automatically, but then that's just a stroke that you have. Okay, because we didn't really do much style. You just click on this color and then use your color picker to select this, and there you go. And you click on this, pick your text, color picker, and there you go. All right, so we have the fonts. Okay, but this at the middle is a little brighter, so let's look for what hex value this is having. The hex value is FB. Let's just copy it, click OK, come back here, come right here, and then select the and then just erase and paste. Just paste it and click OK, and we have exactly that very font. Okay, now the next thing you want to look at is right below this font. In order for this font to be legible, we have a little whitish layer right below. So what we need to do is just to come right below this very font that we've typed, and then create a new layer okay, and we just pick our brush tool, make sure it is on white, okay, and then we add, just increase the size and just brush over so we can have a white font here in order to help reveal what we've typed. Now because this is too much, what we just need to do is to add layer mask and use our brush tool, the same brush tool, to reveal or hide whatever we don't want. So we don't want here to spill, all right, and we don't want it to be too much, so we can decide to just paint it off and paint it off and paint it off, okay, and there you go, we have it, all right, okay. And then I think this hand is a little more bigger than what we have, so let's make it bigger, okay, let's make it bigger, and then for this, all right, I think this is supposed to go a little lower, okay, sorry, you can just click on highlight and take it a little lower, okay, let's just leave that for now. All right, so we have this, and we have this, okay. So let's assume we've got it just exactly how we want it. All right, so the next thing we want to do is we want to type this font up there, okay. So far and so good, we can see that what we are working on is a little high, good. So we already brought it low, so you can adjust it. I'm using the arrow keys on my keyboard to adjust that, okay. So that's it, and there we go. Now we already have this bottom is set. All we need to do now is to work on the top, okay. But I think we have a little challenge. This is a little not centralized, so let's try to get it centralized, okay. It snaps it at the center, so let's bring it down with my arrow key so that hand is at the center of the image right now, so you can adjust the other ones accordingly. So let's adjust Kate a little away, and there you go, we have what we need for this. And then of course the last thing to do is just to type this, the wedding party, okay. What we need to do is just to come over here and type THE. We type differently, THE, and look for the very font, okay. I typed with a lowercase, but you don't need to type over again. You just need to come here and click on this, it becomes uppercase automatically, and then you click on the type tool, you come and look for that very font, okay. What's the name of this font? Let's look for the name. This is Algerian, okay. Let's come back here and use the Algerian font. Now you're supposed to know about the font. As an editor, when you work consistently, you get used to the fonts, you know their names and all of that. So any font you see, you look for its name. You have to install more fonts as you edit on and on. All right, so the next thing is the wedding and party. So we're going to type those two things, wedding and party, okay. So let's come right here and type wedding. All right, it's a mix, so we don't need to use this, because when we use that, it ensures that everything is on capital later on uppercase. So since we don't want everything to be on uppercase, we deselect this and type wedding, okay, wedding. We'll type it separately, and we type the party. Just press Alt on your keyboard, click and drag to duplicate, and then Control A, and we type party. All right, so we have party. Now let's look for what font this is. This is Edwardian, okay. So we come back and we change it to Edwardian, okay, that's it. And then we come change this to Edwardian. All right, so we have Edwardian of the wedding party, okay. So we just try to adjust it accordingly. We need it to be bigger, right, and we need this to also match just a little below, match, and then we need this to just be right there. All right, the next remaining set of things to do is just to fix the colors, and we are done, okay. Not really done, meaning one thing, there's a lens flares. So for the colors, what I did was simple. We have a stroke and we have a shadow, okay. For this shadow, I didn't really use drop shadow. What I did was simple. I just changed this font color to black, okay, and then I duplicated. So you duplicate. All right, the duplicated one is what has the new color, so you shift what you duplicated a little away, and then you change the font color of that very one. So what font color did I use here? Something that is golden. How did I pick that? You use your text tool, click your color, and just look for the brighter side of the gold and click OK, and there you go. We already have the shadow like effect, and what we have left to do is to put the stroke, which is I think I used 1 for the stroke. All right, so there we go. You can actually adjust it accordingly, just to the way you feel will be better for you. And we do the same thing for this. We first change this to black, okay, you change that to black, and then after changing it to black, you duplicate, same thing, duplicate. After duplicating, you just move it a little away and drag it down a little, and then you come stroke black 1, okay, and then you change the font color of the layer above. Just make it brighter. Since we have this color, we just sample that, and there you go, we have it. All right, and then we come to the party, the same thing, we'll change it to black. All right, black, okay, and then we duplicate, we stroke, sorry, not bevel and emboss, is stroke, we just stroke. All right, the last stroke, and stroke is black 1 pixel, and we just pick this color, and there you go. All right, so but what we've not done here is we've not shifted, so we just shift it a little so we can have that shadow, shift it sideways and a little downwards. Then there you go, we have the wedding party. Are we close? Yeah, I think we are. Okay, we are close. All right, I think this font is a little bigger, and what do you need to do? You can select all of them by pressing shift on your keyboard, click, shift, click, and click the shadow and click the one up, and you can expand them together. Okay, now this is where we can actually decide to group this and call them our title. You can just title it, title, we name it as title, so you can up them at once, on them at once, you can modify them together if you want to. And then we have this, we can actually do the same, we group them and give them a name. It's very good for you to group, it keeps your work organized. So let's group this and name this names, okay, and that's it. So you close and you have it just right there, and you can also do the same on the others. All right, so the last thing that we've not done here so far is the lens flare. When you come here, you look closely at this very image, you discover there is a bright light around here, and it's quite easy. It's under the filters in Photoshop. All you need to do is come to filter, render. You have this selected, ensure the background is selected. The background will change to Radial Blur. You ensure it's selected, you come to filter, render, and then you come to lens flares, and you come to lens flares, ensure it's on movie prime. Okay, then you try to adjust it to that very part you want it to be. Okay, so since we want it to be somewhere around here, so it can actually show, okay, this is this, so we want it to be somewhere around here, and click OK, and there you go. Okay, it's a little lower, we can take it a little higher. Okay, it's a little lower, this is a little higher. So let's go back, you come to filter, render, sorry, not fiber, okay, filter, render, lens flare, just take it a little higher, okay, and there you go. We are succeeded in doing the same thing. So look at it, okay, that is how it works. For you to design any graphics work, first you need to seek inspiration. You can go online, go look for works that are done by other people in the same line with what you intend to do. You get inspiration from there, you come and get all the resources you need and modify it to get what you want. Okay, that is how you get inspiration and you do beautiful designs. Okay, over time, as you continue to improve You also try to ensure that you have complementary colors. Don't make your work too noisy with too many colors. Maybe just 2-3 colors at most would be very okay for a professional job. And so try to master colors, learn them, okay? And you can also enhance this differently. You can do quite a number of things. For example, you can decide to just duplicate this very layer and then bring it down and play with the blend modes on the background. So let's assume I intend to have it just, you know, over here, but not really real. I just need it to be on the blend modes. You can just play with the blend modes and see what, you know, you can achieve. For example, look at this effect. Okay, it gives us something nice. Now it still shows all the other effects we have with a beautiful blend mode and all of that. And this is better, so you can just learn to play with every other thing, and you can also come to sort the different kind of files you have, the text, just like what we did earlier in our previous classes. And there you go. So that's it. That will be all for this very class. We've been able to successfully create a movie poster or a wedding poster or wedding flyer, whatever you want to call this. Okay, thank you so much for your time. Ensure you keep practicing, keep experimenting. See you at the top and see you in the next class. Thank you.